time now to find out some of the business news making headlines. And Stephen Curl, our business editor, joins us in the studio. Stephen, starting with a major potential deal in the pharmaceutical industry.
That's right. The board of the Irish pharmaceutical company Shire says it'll recommend to its shareholders that they accept a €52 billion takeover from Japan's Takeda. It's a last-ditch effort to seal the deal after 3 previous attempts were rejected. Now, if that deal is confirmed, it will be the biggest ever foreign takeover by a Japanese company. A tie-up between Shire and Takeda would create the world's 8th largest pharmaceutical company. Investors not too impressed so far, though. In Tokyo, Takeda shares down 7%. Well, let's take a look at how the news is going down on the European markets at the start of trading today. European shares opening down, but Shire shares up over 2%. They're listed in London. The company is headquartered in Ireland. The shares have been rising for some time over this deal. They're up 17% for this year as speculation has been swirling over whether or not that bid will be accepted by Shire. That's the picture at the opening of the European markets. Let's look at what happened in Asia earlier. A similar picture. This really follows on falls that we had on Wall Street on Tuesday. That was after a spike in US borrowing costs. The US markets tumbled after that, and that's really knocked on into what's been trading in Asia today. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong down by over 1%, but really falls across the board in Seoul, in Shanghai and in Tokyo as well. Next, the WhatsApp messaging service is raising the minimum age for its users in the European Union from 13 to 16. The move is to help the Facebook-owned service to comply with new EU data privacy rules. Users will be asked to confirm that they are over 16 years of age in the coming weeks. The change will only affect WhatsApp users within the European Union. Here in France, another controversy over executive pay. Workers at the carmaker PSA, which owns the Peugeot, Citroen and now Opel brands, are unhappy that the CEO is getting a €1 million bonus. Solange Moujan has the story.
Selling cars and getting paid for it. PSA Peugeot Citroen shareholders have approved a €1 million bonus to its CEO, Carlos Tavares. A boost that brings his salary up to €6.7 million. It's a move to congratulate Tavares for finalizing the acquisition of Opel Vauxhall and for better than expected sales. This past quarter, they were up by 42%. A financial thank you that isn't making everyone happy, though. It comes as Tavares has organized cutbacks.
At the top, they're stuffing themselves. We just get the crumbs if we're lucky.
The bonus comes as the group is reining in costs. In Germany, thousands of jobs are going to be cut through voluntary departures at Opel. And 19,000 workers are being asked to give up their own negotiated pay raises of 4.3%. The French labor union CGT says Tavares' bonus is scandalous.
I'm disgusted and revolted. It brings his salary up to €18,000 a day, which is the yearly salary of a factory worker. It's unacceptable.
But another union, Force Ouvrière, says bonuses are being given to workers as well. At a minimum of €2,400 net, they say it's a positive step.
Even if it isn't enough for some, I can tell you it's a lot more than I've seen in the past 42 years here.
This is far from the first time executive salaries have caused a ruckus. Last year, the French government, a Renault shareholder, balked at Carlos Ghosn's €7.25 million pay. He has since accepted to lower it by 30%.
Well, business is still booming at the fashion brand Gucci, giving a welcome boost to its owner, the French luxury group Kering. Online sales for Gucci more than doubled in the first quarter of the year, those gains being led by customers in the United States. A rebound in Chinese demand also amid growing appetite from younger shoppers. They've all helped the Italian fashion house to become one of the world's fastest growing labels. Kering's boss did warn in their results, though, that a strong euro could weigh on future growth. Investors not too worried, shares in the company up by 5% at the open. Well, finally for me, global wine production has slumped to its lowest level in 60 years in 2017. Bad weather in Europe was to blame for the drop. According to figures from the organisation of Vine and Wine, producers around the world made 250 hectolitres of wine last year. That's over 33 billion bottles. That figure, though, is down by almost 9% on 2016. The biggest falls in production were in Spain, in France and in Italy, where they all fell by around a fifth because of that harsh winter for European producers. In contrast, production remains stable in the United States, which is the world's fourth largest producer, while China has become the world's seventh largest wine producer, behind Australia and Argentina. So perhaps no great worries about shortages just yet. 33 billion bottles will get you through a few days.
Plus, a lot of sunshine now in France. I'm imagining Parisians are going to be drinking rosé in abundance. Stephen Carroll with a roundup of the business headlines.